Hey everyone, it's Jane. Today I'm back with a different take on the Fusion Diamond Granny Square that we looked at last week. This version switches things up by using just one solid color for each of the triangle corners, which slightly gives it a different look, creating a colorful framework around the original square. This square is still based on my Fusion Square design, but with a twist that brings out a quilt-like feel. The strong shapes and playful geometry remind me of scrappy quilt blocks, simple pieces coming together in a bold, eye-catching way. I've been testing all sorts of color combos with this one, and if you're curious about how those palettes come together, I share a lot of that color play and some of the behind-the-scenes fun over on my Patreon. You can check that out. The link is in the description below. For today's demo, I've already worked the base Fusion Square up to round 7. You can find the link for the tutorial of the original Fusion Square in the description below, and you can follow the directions for that part there. I'm using a 5mm hook along with a darning needle and a pair of scissors. Here's the palette I'll be using for this sample square today. I have 3 greens, 3 purples, and a neutral. I'll be using Sage Mist by Bernat Premium, and that'll be the one I'll be using for the actual corners. The main square has Forest Green by Bernat Super Value and Sphagnum by Impeccable, which is Michael's. The purples are Purple Ash by Bernat Premium, Plum, which is Impeccable, Michael's, and Mulberry, Bernat Super Value. And my neutral today is called Natural from Bernat Super Value. Each triangle is built separately along one side of the square, forming the diamond shape. We'll be working these sections back and forth in rows, and I call them row 8, 9, and 10. So go ahead and work your Fusion Square up to round 7 using the Fusion tutorial, and then I'll meet you back here to get started on our Fusion Diamond. Starting with our base square, we want to place a stitch marker so that we know what space we're going to start working into to start our triangle. Round 7 is here. We have an odd number of chain spaces and an even number of double crochet sets. We want an odd number so that we can find a center chain space. On round 7, you want to count over 3 chain spaces, and there it is right there. This is the center chain space, and you want to place a stitch marker of any kind. It could just be a piece of yarn, a paper clip. I use my stitch markers. Place it in there, and now you have the chain space marked that you're going to start working into. I'm working with my Sage Mist, and I'll be doing row 8, row 9, and row 10 with this color. Count over from your stitch marker 2 stitches. So this is the chain space, 1, 2. This is where we're going to slip stitch join our color. So insert your hook, wrap it around, pull it through for a slip stitch, and then chain 1. I'll be working my yarn in as I go. We begin with 2 double crochet in the stitch that has the stitch marker in it. I'm going to remove the stitch marker because it's kind of getting in my way, and I know what stitch I'm working in now. Once I have the 2 double crochet, I want to chain 3. Two double crochet back into that same chain space. Chain 1. And that is it for row 8. We're going to join into round 7 now. Count 2 stitches over, just like we did here. 1, 2, slip stitch into the second stitch, and that's the end of row 8. Before we turn our work, we will chain 2, and this is going to represent a double crochet stitch. You could chain 3, it'll work both ways, depends on how tight you chain. Chain 2 works for me. Count over 1, 2 stitches, and now we're going to do another slip stitch in that stitch. So we have row 8 here, and we slip stitch to end it, chain 2, and slip stitch again 2 stitches over. At this point, we're going to turn our work, and I turn it so this yarn comes this way towards me. So I turn the work so the yarn now lies behind what I'm working on. This would be called the wrong side of the work. Normally on my granny squares, I'm always working on the right side, but in this case, because we're continuing with the color and working in rows for a change, I'll now be working on the wrong side. Work a double crochet into this chain space right here. I call it the last chain space of row 8. So as I was editing this, I see I did in fact not work into the chain space. I worked into the stitch I slip stitched into on round 7, but it did work out. What I intended, and you'll see in the next row, that you work into the chain space created at the end of the previous row after the last 2 double crochet set. So I left this in because it just shows you how easy it is to make a mistake, but they actually don't show, as I didn't notice it myself until I was watching this back, and I would not have noticed if I had not been filming it close up. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. Carry on. So a double crochet, chain 1. Now we want to do another corner. So 2 double crochet, chain 3, 2 double crochet into this chain 3 space. Two double crochet, chain 3, and 2 double crochet. Chain 1. Next will be 2 double crochet into this chain 1 space that we started with. So you're working in between the first double crochet and round 7. There's a space in there that you did a chain 1. That's where you're going to work the next one. 2 double crochet, chain 1. Now we're going to join this by counting over 2 stitches from this last slip stitch. 1, 2. Slip stitch into that stitch. That ends row 9. They're very quick rows. One more row to go. Before we turn our work back to the right side, we chain 2, count 2 stitches over from where you just slip stitched, 1, 2, slip stitch in that stitch. Turn your work back to the right side, and again I turn so that the yarn ends up at the back of my work. I'll show you if I were to turn it the other way. See how the yarn is at the front of the work now? I don't want it there. It just kind of gets messy for me. I find if I turn it so it's at the back of my work, it just seems to get worked into the next stitch. Once you've turned your work a double crochet into this chain space. I call that the last chain space of row 9. This time I got it right. That's the chain space that I wanted you to work into. Work another double crochet into that space. And what you have here now is this chain 2 and this double crochet. They make a 2 double crochet set just like all the others. Chain 1. Work 2 double crochet into the next chain space. So move over to the next chain space and work 2 double crochet. Chain 1. Now we're back up to our corner. We want to work 2 double crochet, chain 3, 2 double crochet for the corner. Chain 1. After that corner in the chain 1, we work 2 double crochet in the next chain space right here. Chain 1 and 2 double crochet in this last chain space that lies right beside round 7 again. 2 double crochet in there. Chain 1, count 2 more stitches over from this slip stitched right here. This is the slip stitch from the previous round. We want to count 1, 2, and slip stitch in that stitch. And then we're finished, and we can cut our yarn And that gives you a full triangle in a solid color. You'll continue to do that on each of the remaining 3 edges. Once you've completed all 4 triangles, you're ready for the next round. I call these the border rounds because they go around the entire outside of the square. We've taken it from a square, twisted it, turned it into a diamond, and made it into a square again. This next border round, round 11, is going to go around the entire square. And we're going to start in any one of the corners. Doesn't matter which one, just pick one. I'm going to use my plum color. I've used it in the very center of this square, so I'm going to repeat it out here on the border. In the corner chain 3 space, we want to join our yarn in either chain 3 or work a standing double crochet. I like to do standing double crochets, so that's what I'm going to do. Twice around the hook, insert into that chain 3 space, and complete like a double crochet. And then work a second double crochet into that same chain 3 space. Chain 1. 2 double crochet in the next chain 1 space. And chain 1 again. 2 double crochet in this next chain 1 space. Chain 1. And 2 double crochet in this chain 1 space right here. Chain 1. Let's take a look at what we've done. We started in the corner with 2 double crochet, chain 1, and then we repeated that 2 double crochet, chain 1 3 times, working into each of the chain spaces from this row 10. Now we've reached this chain 3 space that comes from the round 7. We're going to work 2 double crochet into that. And chain 1. Now we're moving on to the next triangle, and we're going to repeat what we did here, only in reverse. 2 double crochet in this chain 1 space. Sometimes you have to dig in to find that one. There it is right there. 2 double crochet into that. Chain 1. 2 double crochet into the next chain 1 space. Chain 1, 2 double crochet into the next chain 1 space, and this is the last one before the corner. Chain 1, and in this corner we're going to work 2 double crochet, chain 3, 2 double crochet. Looking back at what we've done, we started with our 2 double crochet in this corner, chain 1, and then did it 3 times. Chain 1, worked into this chain 3 space from round 7. Chain 1, and then did 3 more in each of the chain spaces from the next row 10 corner. And then we worked our corner. 2 double crochet, chain 3, 2 double crochet. You're going to work that, exactly what I just did there, across each of the edges. So here you're starting with, you already have the 2 double crochet in the corner, chain 1, and then you work 2 double crochet, chain 1 into each of these chain spaces. Then you always ending with a chain 1. There's chain 1s between everything. Then 2 double crochet in this chain 3 space, chain 1, and then you work across these chain 1 spaces the same way to this corner. Always working the corners with 2 double crochet, chain 3, 2 double crochet. You're going to complete that all the way around. I'll meet you back here and we'll finish off this round. We've worked all the way around our square now, and I've come back to the last chain space and the corner we joined in. We want a chain 1 here before we move into the corner, and then we work 2 double crochet into that same chain 3 space that we joined in. chain 3, and slip stitch in the top of your double crochet, or if you did a chain 3, slip stitch in the 3rd chain to end your round. There's a green end there kind of overlapping my first stitch, kind of makes it look funny, but I'll go back and clip that later. Cut your yarn, pull it through, and we'll work that in. You can leave your square just like this, or you can work another round. Round 12 would be joining in a corner and working 2 double crochet, chain 1, and it's already set up for you. So you just work in every single one of these chain 1 spaces, and then you work your corners, 2 double crochets, and chain 3s are your corners. And you would work that all the way around and join the same way we just did. You could work as many of those rounds as you want. In this case, I just did one more round of the natural and I ended it there. If you're curious about how I explore color and put together different combinations, I share lots of that creative behind the scenes fun over on my Patreon. It's where I dive deeper into the design process and color play. You'll find the link in the description, and I'd love to have you join me there. Thanks so much for crocheting along with me today. I hope you enjoy making your fusion diamond squares, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.